older sister, my cousin Eric. They were all in the William E. Gladstone band. We get in the band until he was in fourth grade. By the time I was in fourth grade, they were leaving elementary school, and they removed the damn music program for William E. Gladstone. So I never played in the band. I could have been one of the dudes that you listen to right now. But my mom was ready to support. She even asked me did I want to continue. At that point, I found sports, and the rest was history. But you never know. So we have to introduce our young people to these things. We have to. We have to broaden their horizons. We have to start buying them things that enhance their mind as well as enhance their play. We have to start introducing them to other people, other things, other places. My mom never let us sit around the house and not do anything. Hell, I was listening to the homie Joe today. My little bro right here. Joe from Houston. He literally sounded just like Mom's. He said, oh, y'all sitting around ain't doing nothing? We not leaving this room till it's clean. We gonna go into every room in this house. And we gonna clean that. He said, I'll let you later, B. And that was it. That's what we used to get down. I mean, my mom was strict as hell. She was strict as a drill sergeant, but we still had a lot of fun. Just because you're doing responsible things don't mean you're not having a good time. So with that being said, man, I got one more thing. It's going to take 2 seconds to do. And then I'm done, man. I want y'all to listen to this last thing in history. There's one more thing I got lined up for history. And then I'm going to shut it down, y'all. I really appreciate y'all for tuning in. I really appreciate that. And I want to thank the DJs last week. DJ D Nice, DJ Ninth Wonder, the brothers from DITC. Yeah, my man Joe said his house clean as hell right now. The dudes, all the dudes that's been on social media, my buddy, my homie, my brother, DJ D Great, last night burning it up. My main man, brother on the network, DJ Knox, DJ Mukadina, all the people who, while we've been in the house protecting ourselves from this COVID-19, they've taken time out of it. They could have just sulked around the house. They've taken their time out that day and went Facebook Live. They gone Instagram Live, and they come on, built to this network. Y'all come on, come back with us. Don't just listen to the shows and just talk. Come in and just say hi to DJ Nice. Just acknowledge DJ Mukadeen. Acknowledge D Great. Acknowledge DJ Finesse on MCDE. Acknowledge Nulu. Acknowledge April Shower on their networks. Hey man, show them that you appreciate it, because you know what? They're giving you good music. They're taking time out of their days to entertain us. And I want to thank them and thank everybody who's doing that, because we could just sit around and sulk and just be mad. But we're not doing that. We're not about that. We ain't about no more negative energy in the community, y'all. I'm finna kill it. My job going forward is to kill everything, as much negativity as possible. We only adding sunshine to each day, man. And with that being said, I have one more historical fact that I want to give y'all. And then I'm out, man. I really appreciate y'all giving me a little bit of y'all weekend. I'm doing this every weekend. I'm lifting the brothers and sisters in my community every weekend. I'm making suggestions. And I'm going to be making some moves soon, man. So thank each and every one of you. If at all possible, if you didn't do it already, hit the like button. Share this to your social media platforms. I will be back on the air Tuesday, Wednesday, and every Saturday. Number one, y'all going to hear the whole lineup with number one Chief Rocket Jersey Burn, DJ Knox the Crown Holder, myself and number one Chief Rocket Jersey Burn, Cheers Roundtree, and DJ Knox, DJ Mukadeen. At some point, Lisa gonna stop being the chicken and go ahead and go live. Yep, I called you a chicken, Lisa. And then DJ Knox again on Fridays. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is Built for This Network. I am H-Rap-D, and this is Build and Destroy, where we are building, where I am built. I'm going to do my very best to build up everybody and everything in my community and destroy as much negative energy as out there. Thank you for tuning in again. And here's the last Black History fact. Please listen to the end. It's only 7 minutes, and then listen to the lineup so you'll know what to look for. 2 fingers, 1 word, just one man. This your man H-Rap. I'm out.
Ancient Nubia is perhaps one of the most popular ancient African civilizations in world history. Ancient Nubia is perhaps one of the most popular ancient African civilizations in world history. Nubia, for quite some time, was known as a rival to Egypt, and without question one of the most powerful militaries in Africa. Even though the most recognizable Nubian ruler is King Taharqa today, the greatest of all the Nubian kings, the ruler who initiated the unforgettable African Renaissance, was no doubt his father, King Pi. What up, African world? It's Home Team here, and I'm back at it with another video of African history, culture, and worldview. By supporting this channel on Patreon, you're helping in the creation of these videos and supporting this content. If you'd like to show your support, you may do so by clicking the Patreon link in the description box below. During the time that King Pi was on the throne in Kush, Egyptian authority and dominion was withering away. Deep rivalries in Egypt ushered in social, political, and religious fragmentation. There was a lot of civil unrest during this time, with various provincial Egyptian and Libyan lords vying for power, but it was a Kushite that proved to be the greatest ruler in the Nile Valley at the time. The Nubian monarch, King Pi, brought back cultural, religious, and civil stability back into North Africa, in what has been coined the African Renaissance. Northern Egypt at the time was divided into independent kingdoms and did not agree on much, but they all seemed to not want the Kushites to rule Upper Egypt, as previous Kushite rulers such as Alara and Kashta were beginning to gain much influence there. King Pi appears to have inherited the throne of Kush from his father, Kashta, who is believed to have been the first to initiate Kush's invasion of Upper Egypt. 4 northern Egyptian kings joined together and planned an attack. King Pi began to see the uprising in the north and was going to put an end to all the division once and for all. However, this mission was not viewed as an invasion, but a calling from the great god himself, Amun, a rescue and restoration of Nile Valley culture. King Pi viewed it as his mission to restore Ma'at to Egypt. He was honor-bound to reunite the two lands, crush the internal conflict, and re-establish the indigenous and true African spiritual significance and power. In order to truly understand his ideological stance, we must first understand a little about ancient oral tradition. One ancient Greek historian named Diodorus suggests that the Nubians may have been the first men on the planet, and he seems to give ear to the idea that it was the Nubians who were the first to institute the worship of the gods, and that Egypt was simply a colony of ancient Nubia. This ancient oral tradition is in direct contrast with what many believe today, but it was considered common knowledge back then, and King Pi was not only inspired by that ancient narrative, but sought to remedy the issue of Egypt's social religious corruption by rescuing the old Nubian colony. That is the African perspective that is often neglected. He took the name Semitawe, meaning uniter of two lands, and rallied his army, yoke the war horses, the best of the stable, draw up the line of battle. Inscribed on a 6-foot square block of pink granite are the details of King Pi's rescue of Egypt. King Pi sent forces north to battle the coalition of 4 kings, instructing his men to go quickly and press on. But when they arrived at Thebes and the temple of Karnak, they were to purify themselves. King Pi told them, "You shall enter the water, you shall bathe in the river, you shall dress in fine linen, unstring the bow, loosen the arrow." Karnak was Amun's temple after all, and since Amun had sent them, they must pay their respects. Grim and determined, King Pi's army marched north. On the Nile, they found many ships coming upstream bearing soldiers, sailors, and commanders, every valiant man of the Northland, equipped with weapons of war. The army from Kush absolutely demolished them. They apparently made a great slaughter that day, and Egyptian troops and their ships were captured. The two enemies clashed on land as well as on sea. Kushite soldiers chased the armies of Egypt and slayed them in their own neighborhoods, laying siege to cities and sending captives back to Kush, and still they pushed northward, doing battle as they went. King Pi wanted to join his army, but first he had to keep his promise to attend the festival of Opet. No king of Egypt could afford to ignore the rituals of the Opet festival because they confirmed the king's right to rule. If King Pi expected the people to accept him as the divine king of Egypt, his place was at Karnak. This was the most important festival of the year. The flawless victory of King Pi over Egypt was not only swift, but filled with honorable and merciful deeds. His victory stela gives us insight into his own personality as he cared deeply about his horses and their condition, making sure that they were taken care of. He forgave his enemies, treating the defeated kings with generosity by appointing them governors of his newly acquired lands. The words of the Kushite king makes a religious proclamation, and he celebrated his victory in the context of divine intervention, because for King Pi, the conquering of Egypt was a holy war. Hear what I did, exceeding the ancestors. I, the king, image of God, living likeness of a tomb, who left the womb marked as ruler, feared by those greater than he. His father knew, his mother perceived, he would be ruler from the egg, the good God, beloved of gods, the son of Re, who acts with his arms, Pi, beloved of a moon. King Pi had no desire to remain in Egypt. Kush was his home. He had fulfilled his holy obligation to Amun and reunited the two lands. Now he could return to the center of his empire, Kush, and rule from there. When he died, he was buried in his homeland just north of the Holy Mountain. King Pi should be recognized as the greatest ruler in Nubian history, as he was the one that successfully reaffirmed ancient Nile Valley religious traditions, temples, and artistic forms, while introducing some unique aspects of Kushite culture. It was during the popular 25th dynasty that the Nile Valley saw the first widespread construction of pyramids since the Middle Kingdom. After the 25th dynasty of Egypt, one can make the argument that Egypt was never truly the same again, as it was constantly invaded and ruled by non-Africans. Well, I'm all out, guys. If you like these videos and want to help out in its continued production, please consider supporting the home team on patreon.com. The link is in the description box below. Know thyself. Remember your ancestors. Peace.
It's that Mad Knox music.
We are the build for this network, for the strong, not the weak. And this is our weekly lineup. On Mondays, the #1 chief rocker, Jersey Burn, brings you that recap entertainment show. On Tuesdays, the attack is on hip hop throwback with the crown holder, DJ Mad Knox. Followed by the end of the big show with Chi-Town's finest, A-Track B. On Wednesdays, the brothers gonna work it out. I'm talking about the brothers of the #1 chief rocker, Jersey Burn, and A-Track B. On Thursdays, the theory of the culture show, straight talk, no chaser, with Chiz Roundtree and DJ Mad Knox. Followed by the two-step king, Jersey's finest, DJ Mutadeen, opens up his groove house. And on Fridays, the crown holder, DJ Mad Knox, get your weekends right with the build for this Friday mix. We are built for this network, for the strong, not the weak. You understand what it is?